Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Total War Attila Saxon Shore Let's Play. So, I apologize for the delay in all of my Total War videos lately. I have been having some issues with the game, and I think it was due to my graphics drivers. However, I was stupid, and before trying that out, I reinstalled the game. And I remembered to back up my save for our Rise of Rome Let's Play. However, I forgot to back up this one. Luckily, we were only 7 turns in, so I basically just played back up to the point roughly where we were. This is the start of turn 8, and things are mostly the same here. I've renamed the settlements to what they were. I've got everybody set up basically the same way. Attila has married this Caledonian lady here. I still have the same people and everything. Senrid's been promoted. And the king is currently leading an army. I've built it a little bit differently. We have a bunch of Nordic levy. And I'm going to try to eventually replace a lot of these like lower tier Nordic units and mercenary units with something a little bit more substantial and cost effective, but we'll see about that. We haven't made a move on Corinium yet. Reason being, the Roman army is hanging out right here, and I don't want to have to deal with both at once. I'd rather take them separately, especially since I was investigating here, and they have a guardhouse built, so the garrison here is actually a pretty solid garrison. I would have no problem defending a settlement against almost anything with this garrison. So I don't really love the idea of fighting it, even though I know that the AI won't use it as effectively as, you know, a player would. So, let's see. Was there any other promotions that I missed out on? It looks like Hengist is ready for a promotion. We'll move him up. Horsa, I was kind of tempted to just assassinate these guys. But, he actually is giving us a small, oh, no, he's not. Wait, yes, he is. Okay. 10 research rate. I was worried that I was thinking of the old save and not the new one. So, yeah, he's a sage, plus 10 research rate. That carried over, luckily. Plus 5. He hasn't leveled up yet. Sorry. This guy is kind of worthless. I may just try to get rid of him, but I don't really have the influence right now to spare to do it. So, we'll have to leave that be. I have started upgrading this to the toolmaker here. I went with the toolmaker because it's going to give us double the iron resource, and then 5%, an additional 5% wealth from industrial and agricultural buildings, which is essentially everything that we're going to be building here. All the farmsteads are agricultural, and then the artisans that we'll be crafting when we take Corinium will be industrial, so it'll, you know, help out there. Also, it's worth noting that as you go down the tree, the weaponsmith tree never gains any more iron resource, so they only ever get 20. You do eventually get minus 15% recruitment cost for land units, but over here you're getting 160 iron production at the end, plus 15 wealth from industrial and agricultural buildings in this province. So I imagine between the trade income from that 160 iron and the 15% in wealth, you're going to be making more money from this than you would be saving from that 15% recruitment cost. Also, unless you're dedicating this province to troop production, that plus 2 isn't really necessary. Being able to train 6 troops in a single turn is nice, but it's not super necessary. Unless, again, this was where all of my troops were going to be recruited from. Then it would sort of make sense, but I think having the extra iron is going to be a lot more useful, and the extra income. So that's what we're doing. It's 1 turn into production, so 3 more until it's done. I've also decided to go ahead and just open this up, and I'm building a town center here. It's just going to give me a little bit more income and some public order, which should help. And then once we are able to convert our religion, I can just tear it down and build the religious building here. We got goat herds going on here. I've decided on goat herds rather than the alternatives because this is going to give me the best balance of food and just overall effectiveness. So fields are going to be useless. They rely too much on fertility, which is not something that you can maintain late in the game. Once we hit 400 AD, the fertility level is going to drop 1 across the entire map, and then as you go on through the game, that'll happen a couple more times. So eventually, this 20 food plus 42 from local fertility will be 20 plus like potentially 0. Not very helpful down the line. Whereas with the goat herd, we get 40 just from animal husbandry, and then an additional 18 from fertility. So that one's not going to get hurt nearly as much when the fertility drops off. We also get a little bit more wealth from this, I believe. Yeah, more than double actually. And then either way, we're getting access to skirmishers, and I think the troops are consistent all the way down. So really, you're just getting a little bit less food and more wealth, but more consistent food. Whereas here, you're getting more food based on fertility and less wealth, so less reliable. Over here, we have pastures, which are going to give you the least amount of food, but the most amount of wealth, and allows access to cavalry. So it'll be important for us to build one of those. However, since I only have one food producing building right now, I figured I should go with the one that's going to give me more food. So as much as I'd like to be able to train up cav, I felt that the securing our food supply was more important. And I don't know that there's really much for us to do. I could open one of these up and build something, but I don't think that's a good idea. I'm trying to save it for potentially whenever we unlock Corinium. So I may just... Let's jump into diplomacy, and then that might be the end of our turn. We didn't really even do anything. We're doing fine with them, although it is going down a bit. Caledonians are pretty pleased with us. They obviously just married off one of the king's daughters or something like that. And we have a non-aggression pact with them. Things have shooken. I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. Things have ended up a little bit differently, obviously, playing through this again. And the Caledonians only have the 2 provinces they started with. The Picts were the most aggressive one this time. And they were able to grab Lindum. So we're going to need to take that from them eventually. And then we met the Abdanians earlier than we did last time, because they were able to grab Sagontium, which they weren't able to do last time around. The Picts beat them 2-8 last time. So we're going to have to go to war with pretty much all of these guys eventually, but we'll try to stay friendly until then, because eventually we're going to want to claim up to Hadrian's Wall. Everything south of that is going to be ours. Everything north of it I don't care about, because those 2 Scottish provinces and the one Irish, or excuse me, Scottish settlements and the one Irish settlement, they're all part of a single province, so I don't want like 1 of 3 or 2 of 3. I may as well just have none of 3 and try to turn them into puppet states or something. Danes won't trade with me because they are puppets of the Geats, which actually ended up working out exactly the same. I think the Varinians, yeah, same thing, interestingly enough. So yeah, I mean, diplomatically, other than meeting the Abdanians a little bit earlier, things played out nearly identically. The Franks are warming up to me, but not nearly as much as they were last time. So we might have to put a little bit more work into it, but I think we'll be alright. The Utes are offering me a defensive alliance, and I am inclined to accept for now. That way, if anybody else declares war on me, I will have somebody to come in and sort of help out. The Nordic factions tend to be very mobile as well, so they're good allies to have, because they tend to send their armies around via ship. So they project their power very well. Also, they managed to claim this, which is interesting. But yeah, they project their armies around the map very well, so I think they're good allies to have most of the time. I will go ahead and accept this. We may end up turning on them eventually. I don't know. I don't really plan on it, but you know, you never know. But yeah, for now, we'll accept. Okay, apparently in attempting to promote our friend here, he was blocked. We're gonna use political favors and try to waste more of his influence, because that was really the whole point of promoting him in the first place. Let's see, the Angles and the Danes have gone to war. That's not good, because that's gonna sour our relations with the Danes. Our defensive alliance has been approved. We've got foreign trespassers. Apparently they decided to go back where they came from. Our town center is done. That's good. And we can coordinate war targets now that we're both at war with the Romans. Speaking of the Romans, I believe this was their army that was here, and they've moved pretty far to the west. My army cannot get to them, so I am going to operate under the assumption that they cannot get to me. So I'm going to take Corinium here. Let's actually move to the border so that we can peek. And yeah, there's no army here any longer. So if I take this, the only thing that they should be able to do to us is counterattack Corinium. That should be the only thing that they can do. There's no way that their army can march all the way to Londonwick and still attack. Maybe through a forced march, but then again, they can't initiate battles. They can only be attacked. Of course, the AI doesn't play by the same rules I do, so I don't know. But let's go ahead and take this. We'll auto-resolve, and the settlement is now ours. Hopefully we didn't take too many casualties there. I am going to just occupy it. I won't mind taking the replenishment, and I'm trying to keep my public order under wraps. We didn't do such a great job of it through the first 2 episodes. It looks like the king is leveled up again. So I'm going to go with the additional zeal and melee attack and then some additional defense. I think that's what we did. I don't know if we got him this high a level last time around. Level 3. Maybe we did. I don't recall. Okay. So Corinium. Let's get this repaired. 61. Those are fields. Knock it all down. Oh, do I... Yeah, I was going to say, just tear it down. I'd rather build it from scratch. Okay. Not going to bother upgrading any of this. Can't afford the food consumption or the public order hit anyways. But, again, this is just a placeholder until we can start building religious buildings. Can you can still recruit hurlers and whatnot, so maybe I should do that. I prefer hurlers to archers. So I'm going to do... Well, here, let's just... I'm just going to scrap you guys. Although that might have been a mistake because they, of course, can come attack me while I'm doing this. But I think we should be able to hold regardless. Their army is much smaller than mine, and we will be fighting within the safety of a town. Not a walled town, but a town. So I think things are looking pretty good here. I need to save up money so that I can convert these, because it's going to cost me quite a bit. That one's almost 9. Wow. So let's see. You were finally promoted. You guys need to level up before you can be promoted. You're still 17, so I can't even put him into office yet. But I could potentially give him his own army. Is he old enough? Yeah, he is. Okay. I'll have him raise an army in the capital then. The Aegis of the Oak. I like that name. And I can't recruit any troops because this army is currently using up all the recruitment. Is there any mercenaries that would be worth adding to this? Not really. These guys are kind of expensive for what they are. I mean, that's mercenaries for you, though. Right, diplomacy. Diplomacy. How are we doing here? It's going up. It's going in the right direction. We're close. We're on moderate now. 500. I'm gonna haggle. Okay, got that. Will they trade with me now? No. What if I threw a little bit of gold their way on this? I'll offer another 3. No. Okay. I'll offer 5, and that's as high as I'm gonna go. 6, fine. Just because it's easier. No. Okay, then I'll wait. I'll wait a turn. We should be somewhere into the positive relations next turn, or at least like maybe -2, -1. So we'll try again next turn, but I'm not going to throw a bunch of money at them if they're going to come around eventually anyways. So the Danes are going to like me even less because they're at war with my allies. I think that's about all we can do. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we've got a rebellion on our hands. We'll have to take care of that in a second. And apparently we've got a matter of state we need to attend to. So let's see, we've demolished the Roman stuff there. Apparently you've got a weighted practice shield. Might want to give that to Sinrid. And our technology is done, so let's grab a new one. I'm thinking, yeah, military maneuvers. That minus 20 fatigue is looking pretty tempting, and I don't think any of these buildings are going to be immediately useful. No, yeah. The only one that would help us is that tier 3 goat pen, and I don't really have the public order to justify upgrading my food buildings that early, so let's take this. And I'm going to have you guys attack them. They're going to flee. I need you to pursue. Go ahead and just end that. Oh, cut his head off with an axe. That's an impressive feat. That's not easy to do. Not that I've ever tried, but like the thing about a sword blade is it's longer than a person's neck. So you can kind of hit anywhere with it and you should be alright. But with an axe, generally the head of the axe is around the same size or even smaller than, you know, somebody's neck. So you got to be pretty accurate with it if you're going to try something like that. So elf wine, my lord, we should have a fabulous feast, inviting all the great and good of the land to marvel at our splendor, and lasting for 90 days and nights. Yeah, now's not a good time. Too much war happening. So the Picts have chased the Romans even further. They're raiding me, unfortunately. Not a lot I can do about it, but maybe the Picts will go deal with them for me. If they do, fantastic. If not, I'll have to run over there eventually. I'm trying to resolve the public order stuff here first. Okay. So this army's full. I'll start building this one up now. Let's take a look at our religion. Okay. It's really taking its time, isn't it? These are still dropping though, that's good. And actually, I don't know why I keep closing that. Let's see, 15. You're 18 now, so you can hold office, but you don't have enough influence. So we'll need to earn you some influence. You're at 108. Why don't you try to get rid of him? He's of no use to me. Okay. Over here. Dane's not going to trade with me. No point even trying. Franks.
Sit, friend, and let us...
Not yet. We'll have to wait maybe another turn. Okay. So, let's see. Corinium. Which we're actually going to rename. If you didn't know how to rename, you click on this little, like, what's it called? Province detail button. And then with this little pencil icon here, you can rename stuff. So I believe the proper Saxon name for this settlement would have been Cirencaster. I looked it up before trying to record this prior, and again, I was having issues getting the game to work and not crash on me. So now we have it finally updated there. And we're going to need a farmstead here and an artisan there. We're going to turn this artisan into a wood carver, and then eventually a carpenter's guild. Although, Nordic bows are not really something I'm too keen on, so I might go a different route if there's something I think that would be better. Like a smithy, for example. That would give me Nordic axe warband and Nordic brigands, and then axe warriors. And just, it looks like better armor, better weapons, and more recruitment, which is not such a bad thing, especially since I went with the toolmaker here instead of the ironworks or whatever. So this could end up being like a supplement to that. None of these other ones are going to give me any additional recruitment options, and without access to timber, I can't upgrade this very far anyways. And again, like, artillery is great, but I already have artillery, and not a fan of archers in this game. So I don't know that I would even bother. Like, I'm totally okay with the slingers. They're cheap and they're effective. Okay, so is that the end of our turn then? I think it very well might be. I should probably build a... I need to build... I'm blanking on the name now, like wells or whatever, sanitation buildings. I need to build one. And this is probably the place to do it. But I might want to build something else here. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. So let's see. Yeah, I want to do the well. I feel like there's better, like a guardhouse or something. What's our equivalent to the guardhouse? Well, farmstead. I could also build like a chieftain's house here, and what else would that give me access to? Hearthguard, so that would be a new recruitment option. That also gives additional garrison. Chosen warriors, Nordic spearmen. So that's kind of tempting. That would also give me public order, which is handy. Alternatively, I could build another artisan here. Or, yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave the well until later. I'm going to build the well here. I think that makes more sense. Because this settlement is less likely to be attacked from mainland Europe. Anybody along the coast here could sail down and attack this place. So having a better garrison there makes more sense. Here, it's not as important once this is dealt with. So I like that idea. Let's take the public order now and the additional troop options later. And I could upgrade this as well. I'm trying to save money though. I keep forgetting to save it up. I think we'll end our turn here. Unfortunately, our assassination attempt was botched. Luckily, all we lost was a little bit of control, which we had quite a bit of already. Actually, probably more than we wanted to, so this might help us, actually. And then we declined the feast. We got contentment, so basically we got +5 public order out of that, which is actually pretty handy. You got a measuring rod. I forgot to give you... Well, we'll have to see what is going to be best suited to you currently. And the Picts are trespassing again. If they deal with the Romans for me, though, I honestly don't care. Especially if they send all their armies down into mainland Europe, and I can just like waltz right through their territory with them not defending it, then all the better for me, right? So let's see. Sinrid, you have the measuring rod, which is going to boost industrial income. This is going to boost into... Wow. I wonder if those are... if they stack or if they add together, how that works. We're also getting plus 10% wealth from immigration. So is that plus 30 or is it like 20 and then 10% off of that? I mean, I don't know. There's several ways to calculate it, and some are going to give us more than others. Let's see. Neither of those is going to be useful for a governor. Let's see. You don't really need to have that weighted shield. Why do you have an artist, and why can't I take that away? That would be far better on... whatever. I like the idea of cheaper construction costs, but you know what? Fine. Let's make sure the king is properly equipped here. He's got armor, morale, and morale. Yeah, okay, that's fine, I guess. Yikes. I didn't know he was a torturer. That's kind of unfortunate. Alright. I probably should have started building up his army last turn. I'm going to go ahead and do it now so I don't forget. And we'll add 4 more hurlers, and that'll basically be his army, is just those 9 units. Until we have access to, like, better stuff. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this situation. I kind of want to just let the Picts handle it and not worry, and maybe attack them when they let their guard down. But we are out of time, so I'll end it here and figure out where to go from here next time. We need to upgrade this to pasture so that we can get cavalry. We're going to upgrade this to, I guess, the blacksmith, since the troop options are far more appealing than just Nordic bows. And then once our religion is finally able to be converted, we will go ahead and tear this down and start working on a religious building here. To, you know, really get that conversion going and hopefully add some more public order to this. I'll probably add a town center somewhere in here, but to me the religious building is higher priority. And since it'll be a while before we can build this, I want to make sure it's here. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Total War Attila with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.